When your truck is properly parked, engage the PTO. To engage the PTO, enter the cab of the truck, ensuring the parking brake is engaged. Push in the clutch for a manual transmission or the brake pedal for an automatic. It's time to turn on the electrical power. Inside the cab, you will see the control panel that clearly shows what each switch activates. Engage the PTO lever and slowly release the clutch. Make sure the PTO indicator light turns on. Once the PTO is engaged, do not move the truck until it has been disengaged. Now that the brake is set and the PTO has been engaged, locate the crane operator station. Here you'll also find controls for the hydraulic stabilizers. In order to function properly, they need to be set on firm and supportive ground. To lower the stabilizers, use the CS lever for curbside and SS lever for street side. You can operate the control levers separately or at the same time. When solid contact with the ground has been made, release the levers. If the ground is too soft, use ground pads to give the stabilizer a firm place to land. Do not raise the rear tires of the truck off the ground with the stabilizers. Also, pay particular attention that the truck is as level as possible, both front to rear and side to side. Remember, the ground conditions and the angles at which you are lifting all influence the stability of your truck. Always pay attention to your surroundings and watch your feet when lowering the stabilizers. Before operating any Stellar crane, make sure the red E-stop button is disengaged. The radio remote control system is a standard feature on the Stellar tire service crane and allows the operator the flexibility to locate themselves at the ideal position to most effectively perform the job. The Stellar radio remote control has two mechanisms that are used to control crane movement. First of these is the toggle switch. Your remote will have several toggles. Each toggle controls the hydraulic control valve section for that function, such as boom rotate, boom up and down, and extensions in and out. The trigger is used to proportionally control the oil flow entering the control valve. The more you pull the trigger, the more oil flows to the control valve, and thus the faster the crane function will move. The radio remote control is equipped with an emergency stop button. If you encounter a situation that you need to stop the crane functionality immediately, press or engage the red emergency stop button. Do not use the E-stop as an on-off button, as it is intended solely for safety during emergencies. The remote has a sleep mode that activates after 1 minute of no use. This saves the battery life of your remote. To relink, activate any toggle switch for a few seconds. Release the toggle and continue operation. To operate your Stellar Industries tire service crane, first unstow it. Select the outer boom toggle and slowly squeeze the trigger. This will bring the boom tip out and away from the rubber bumper. Next, press the inner boom toggle up to bring it out of the boom rest. Continue to operate the proper toggles to perform the service. Follow these lifting suggestions for maximum safety and efficiency. When performing a lift, have the load as close to the ground as possible. Make sure you are aware of overhead power lines or other obstructions that may be in your way. Review the crane capacity chart to know your limitations and fully understand the capacity of your crane. Never side load your crane. Never have an unbalanced load, and never apply unnecessary force on the crane. Once your work is done, fold the inner boom into the cradle, then retract the outer boom back into the black bumper until moderate contact is made. Stow the stabilizers by raising the CS and SS levers. Be sure to shut off the air compressor in the cab of the truck, then drain the air tank before leaving the work site. Stow the radio remote in the cab. Finally, disengage the PTO by pressing down on the clutch and turning off the switch. Slowly release the clutch. If your truck is an automatic, press down on the brake pedal and turn off the PTO switch. release the brake. Turn off all other switches on the control panel. Finalize your service by storing the safety cones, shutting drawers and compartments, and securing the load. Double check the pressure has been released from the air tank. Return to the cab and release the parking brake. You can now drive off the work site. In the event the remote control fails to function and replacing the batteries does not restore it to operation, use the following steps to manually operate your crane. Position yourself at the crane operator's station. Then turn the override screw on the flow control 3 to 5 turns in the counterclockwise direction. Next, operate solenoids by sliding the knurled sleeve out. Then push or pull to operate. Be sure the sleeve is in the center locked position before returning to remote operation. Finally, deactivate the flow control by turning the override screw clockwise until it stops, followed by disengaging the PTO. For detailed troubleshooting of your tire service truck, please consult the equipment manuals located in the cab of the truck or contact the Stellar Industries Customer Service Department.